A crisp drive through the desert to find an amazing hidden ghost town. Beautiful scenery past Boulder City, headed to Arizona for one of the most amazing finds we have seen. Come along with us.
Welcome everyone to Weekend Escapades. Today we have found ourselves in the middle of the Arizona desert, looking for a town called Santa Claus that appears to have been dismantled. But we have found our way to Mineral Park, and in the hills behind me there are a few remaining buildings of this old ghost town, right next to still an open mining operation. So we are off to the I guess the northern side of that operation, and we're going to go up in these hills here. Very rural.
We're going to find mines, a mining operation in old miners' cabins in this ghost town. But rewind, this is the Santa Claus area off of Highway 93. Right under that billboard is where Santa Claus used to be. We had no idea that it wasn't here any longer. They have bulldozed Santa Claus to the ground. Even when we went behind off of Highway 93 to look for it, the only thing we found was this Santa Claus hat and this giant sign. This is the sign when Santa Claus existed, and this is the sign today. But Santa Claus is gone. Now this was an amazing town, and Santa Claus was founded in 1937 by an eccentric realtor named Nina Talbot. She moved from California to Arizona, and she hoped to create a resort town in the Arizona desert. It had a small train, a building, and a place where people could stay. But it's gone. Famed restaurant reviewer Duncan Hines rated this inn as one of the best places to stop and eat around Arizona's stretch of Route 66. And the business remained through 1960s and became a ghost town. I certainly wish we could have seen Santa Claus in its glory, but now all that remains is a patch of dirt and rattlesnakes. Let's move forward to our final destination, Mineral Park. And let me tell you, you can put this into GPS and it'll take you the wrong direction to a dead-end road. You need to keep working up the road until you come to the gates of Mineral Springs mining operation. And then when you look off to the left, you'll find what's left of Mineral Park Ghost Town, founded in 1870.
Now as we trek through here, we're really going to have to find our way. We're going to search around and see what's still left on the ground. But let me tell you, people haven't been here for a while, just a few cows. But you can come out here and visit. It is not fenced off. And again, we're going to have to work our way through this jungle and find what's left. First building straight ahead, right up this hill. I'm telling you, this is really rural. Got to kind of find the little area that was washed out. They had a big flood up here not long ago. The whole road and everything's washed out. Starting to see a few things along the way. So some old tin chimney pipe. A little bit of roofing up here. And there it is, building off to the right. Hey, watch these bushes. They're full of thorns. Really sharp. There it is right there. Roofing paper and tin all laying out here. There it is. Look at that. See if we can get a little closer. There's a big metal tub in the ground right there. Let's take a closer look and see what that is. Maybe that held water. Oh yeah, maybe it was an old well and there's old water in there. Let me tell you, this is really exploring here. This is no path to get up to this one. Okay, a little closer. This wall's coming down. You can see here, this is all tin. Look at the walls. So the original wall in there. All done out of mud and rock. Some old mud brick in there. Here's the blocks. Original blocks that were made. No, those are made out of like straw. There's some straw in there, as you can see, and mud. Interesting build on this one. For sure. Okay, we're gonna just walk in the front door just for the whole feeling of it. Walking inside an old miner's cabin. Some of the things that were found on the ground, people are saving and putting right there. Not gonna go in there. That's barely held up by that little piece of wood right there. See the way the brickwork was done. There's a lot of straw and a lot of mud and little pebbles in there. And then some nails that used to hold up the old paper that was on the walls. Like an old canvas. Where the stovepipe went through. Still standing. You can see there's a couple little insulators, like they had some kind of some wiring at one time in here. That would be very interesting if there was actually electricity in this old cabin. Alright, so just found this. Look at this. Huge square-headed nail. Found right here on property. I do not like taking these things away from the property. Doesn't give me a good vibe, and I don't think it's good. It's nice to leave this stuff here. I'm going to put it on the shelf. Over here. People can look at it next time they come here. There we go.
The journey to this location was tough back in the 1800s due to its remote location. Prospectors would travel up the Colorado River by steamship and disembark in Hardyville, which is now Bullhead City.
So in 1871, the Atlantic Pacific Railroad came through here. And this was the county seat. But then what happened was the railroad also went through Kingman, Arizona. And Kingman grew at a much faster rate. And so this whole area that used to be the county seat, where many buildings were, they're not here anymore. I believe it's destroyed by flood and so forth.
Anyone that wanted to travel to this location had to disembark and get off the steamship in Bullhead City and travel 40 miles through the hot desert.
So we're getting closer here to these foundations and buildings. This location had 5 smelters. It had a hospital, post office, saloons. Everything used to operate here. This was a fairly large town. And again, a lot of this was just wiped out. You could see how it was wiped out, and the water rushes through here. And it doesn't do anything good to the soil with these buildings on here. But we are definitely going to take a look at what remains here. This is really, really nice to see these old buildings and what's left, just made out of tin. And people used to live here and operate right up there. We're going to see if we can get there. That is what's left of the mining area. There's foundations up there and a couple of, looks like a chimney or a stack, maybe to one of the kind of foundries that are up there. So we'll keep working our way up the hill as best we can. But right now, just take a look at this. The old tin cans. There are people eating out of those tin cans to survive up here in this old mining town. And again, I'm just showing you what I'm seeing for the first time as well. That's something. An old door still on the hinges. Used to be used to, looks like this might have been a chicken coop or something. A lot of the wires and the way it's open, and some pens there. So they probably had some livestock and things in here. This is probably one of the homesteads. And this old building right over here that's about a quarter of the way standing. Get a little closer to that. There's a lot of wire on the ground, so obviously they had that penned off. Maybe they had their horses, or it was a stable of some sort. And headed in towards the back door of this old building. It's built very similar to the other building because the same bricks. So they probably made all these bricks up here, or maybe they brought them in, but look at the stone that are in there. Look at that rock and straw that they made these bricks out of. That's a good shot right there. And then they covered the walls with just like any kind of sheeting they could. And this one's actually plastered to smooth them out and make this a home. Look what's on the deck of this. That's a material. That's tin, actually. So it had a tin floor. I don't think I've ever seen a tin floor before. And that would be one right there, all nailed in, flattened out. I'm watching my step. You step on the wrong board and take the whole place down. Let's go through the back. There we go. Right out the back door. Look at that exterior wall. That's all mudded in. Real sandy. Looks like it was painted at one time. We're going to head up through that cactus and go a little further up the hill and see what we can find. Okay, so Lisa was just pointing this out over here, that there's a big hole in the ground right here. Now these look like wells to me. If somebody knows, please post it in the comments. There's the foundation of this house on this side, all the rock, but this one kind of creep around and want to fall in that well or whatever it is. The way it's cemented in, let me know. A lot of you know out there more than I do about this stuff, but we're finding it. That looks like it was smoothed out to hold water. Very interesting. And around the outside of it, it has the rock, and then they put the mortar to smooth it out. Looks to me like it would hold water. Right next to the old shack. Looks like this would have been one of the nicer buildings. And again, there's that original, or not original, but the new operation right over there, because this is still very mineral rich in this area. Luckily we found a blank area to walk here. This wash that maybe was the road, because I don't know about trekking through all of that cactus. There's so much of it off here. Well, it's nice and open to go up to the top. We didn't know we were going to find this. Hopefully this road will take us up to the foundations of the milling operation at the top. So we're going to keep going. It's quite a trek up there, about a half a mile from here. All right, one off to the right. We'll get closer there, and then we'll try to cross over here. A lot of it's washed out. Cross over to that foundation. A lot of old wood, metal. Looks like there's some kind of a stack there as well. Then there's this foundation down there. All right, danger, stay out. Inactive surface mine. They've got this double roped with barbed wire, and you can see why. There's one big hole for a mine. I'm gonna go around to the other side and see if I can get a better shot of that as well. But first, let's go right over here on this foundation. Yeah, there's a cement foundation here. Now, again, a lot of you that view the channel, which we appreciate, know more about this than I do. Maybe you know about this location. So let me know what some of this is. That'd make a good burn barrel for sure. This here, obviously it held something heavy. The way it's lined up, it looks like something in this operation here probably fed something to the operation down there. Again, I don't know that much about it, but I'm looking on the hillside Right over there's another sign, and there's a mine that goes on the side of that hill. We'll see if we can get closer to that as well. But I'm telling you, it's been washed out over there. Another foundation here. Now this one has some brick around it as well. But that just makes me think, whenever I look at mining operations, and again, a lot of people know more than I do about it. I'm just here to document these ghost towns and show them, but see how that's lined up perfectly with that there. Tells me that this supported something that went off to that unit that would be off in the distance there. And again, that modern mining operation. Look at what they've done to that mountain. Modern mining operation, not as glamorous as the old mining operations, for sure. I started seeing rock built up here for a rock wall. I couldn't see it with the cedars, the pinions that are around it. Well, there used to be barbed wire around this, and you wonder why, and then you get closer, and you can see there's another mine shaft right here. There's an old tire there. Somebody's missing a tire. Well, we're gonna go up there and look at it from the other angle. Right where Lisa's standing, she's saying, look at it from here. Giant hole in the ground. Definitely a big mine shaft going in there. That is open as well. It's very loose around here, so being cautious. Okay, so we're getting a little closer here to the one that was in the side of the hill that I was showing you. And so yeah, that one goes straight down. Also goes back in over there. That goes down there quite a ways. A lot of digging and mining going on right in here. Very interesting area. Now we had no idea, again, that we thought that when we went to Chloride out here in the same area, Chloride, Arizona, we were looking for Santa Claus, which appears to be bulldozed. And now we looked up and found this, and it was the directions to get here were really messed up. So we just kept coming down the road and we ran into the fence of this modern mining operation and ended up here. And this is quite the find. You can miss it because this is hidden up on these hills. If you're not looking in the pines, you'll never find it. And there's nothing to point it out that this is the ghost town. So you really got to search it out. Okay. This is what we're looking for. So that little tunnel came out right there on the right-hand side. With that one right there, that is the mine shaft. That goes back, I couldn't tell you how far. We're not supposed to go in near barbed wire, and I really don't want to. It says unsafe. And it goes off to the left as well. Never have quite seen an opening like that. All right, made ourselves a little bit of a slippery path. So we made that for ourselves down the hill. There's not a real path getting down here, but we made it to this foundation that is fairly large. The mines were right up there that we were at. We came down that hill. And I imagine there used to be a giant wood and tin structure on this foundation. And what's left of some of it. A lot of the bolts and things are bent over on the ground. See that? But working here, you would have had quite the view, that's for sure. The beautiful canyon all the way through Arizona down there. Hard to imagine that all over these hills, all over that area down below us, was a complete town with banks, restaurants, saloons, and very active. All to pull the minerals out of this hillside that went through all these foundations. All the people that used to work here for all the riches of silver and gold. The most fascinating part of this stuff to me is the construction and how they used to make it. And you look and you see the old metal that they put in here to hold it together with, and a big piece of iron kind of made that curve. Somebody had to draw it out and engineer it. Those giant bolts. And this all held the equipment for these mines and the material to be produced. This might help to see the sheer size of this operation. There's 3 levels here. There's this one, and I'm walking, sorry if the camera shake. It's pretty loose ground. And then all this foundation down here as well. It looks up right there. So obviously the material stepping down from here down into this location. And then this here, obviously water, I'm guessing, because it has a trough, very smooth, and a pipe coming out of it. Okay, here we go again, slippery slope. And you can see here some timbers sticking out of the ground. And right down here, where Lisa's at, there's a foundation, like for an old house. Don't fall. So, right down there's a foundation for a house. She's on that wall for sure. And then here's the bottom foundation for what was above us. Let's see if I can make my way down here as well, through these rocks. So you can see where the walls were here. What's left of the little rubble and metal that put that together. And all this went on down the hill. Those houses are down below there, right where that road's at that goes in front of the new operation. Right up there is the other first foundation that we saw. I'd like to add, if I could, I'd like to say a big thank you to everybody who's watching the channel, but also a large percentage of people that watch the channel, about 65%, are watching the channel are not subscribed. It really doesn't take that much effort, and we really appreciate it if you hit the subscribe button to see more videos like this and find places that are really lesser known, because that's what we do. And when we find them, we really want to explore them and share them with you, and we hope you enjoy them. So smash the like button, hit the subscribe button, because it doesn't cost you a darn thing and it sure helps us out, and we're able to do more of these videos and more in-depth videos for you. And hit that notification bell, that way you will be notified when these videos come up and you can enjoy them.
We hope you enjoyed this adventure to Mineral Park, Arizona, in the middle of nowhere. And until our next adventure, goodbye from Weekend Escapades, and we'll see you in the next one.